Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video I'm going to be featuring a team that Caleb created, which is a Mandibuzz lead with a Snarl, not Aerial Ace, and Dark Pulse, along with a Registeel and a Digger's Bee with a Mud Shot, Scorching Sand, and Hyper Beam. So let's go ahead and get started. Overall, I went 12 and 8 with this team. I'm going to show off the first two sets here. This team was pretty strong, very bulky. Picked up a lot of good leads. It's really good against Lickitung, which seems to be really common in the meta. And they come into Toxapex, and this is a beautiful situation for Registeel. Registeel absolutely destroys Toxapex, double resist the poison jabs. The Brine is a very weak move, so it does not do very much. I'm going to be able to land the Zap Cannon onto the Toxapex, which is super effective. Gonna go to 100 energy, then I'm gonna undercharge the Focus Blast and then look to lock on down and leave with some energy. But I'm very dominant position since Digger's Bee also does pretty well against Sableye here. So you're gonna see I am gonna undercharge. I'm gonna take another Brine and look to farm it all the way down. Gonna let this go. And gonna farm it all the way down, and I'm gonna bank the Focus Blast. I guess I could have banked the Zap Cannon, but this is perfectly fine. Mandibuzz has a very good matchup versus a Sableye, though two returns do quite a bit of damage. So going to do 3 Snarls and throw the... Actually, I think I do 4 here because I want to do before they got to the... I guess I did 5 there, to be honest, because I ended up doing a 5th one here anyways. Before they get to a move, and the opponent decides to leave the match, realizing I just have too much energy. I'm going to be too strong in that situation. All right. These matches were quite long, some of them. I did almost time out a bunch of them. So Carbang, honestly, one of the worst leads that Mandibuzz could encounter. So I'm going to say switch here. And looks like they don't have a good answer to Registeel because they come in with Frostblast. And if I get this debuff, I should be able to survive 2 Shadow Balls. And I think I end up shielding. I let this go because I guess they reached the second Shadow Ball before me anyways. And... yeah, they'll be able to reach the Shadow Ball before me, so it doesn't really matter which one is shield. And then I'm going to go to 100 energy and then look to Zap Cannon. Hope to get another debuff. I don't get another debuff, but I am going to look to shield and lock on down and put myself in a pretty good spot. And I'm going to be able to lock on down. And let's see what they decide to come in with. They decide to come in with a Venusaur. I'm going to throw the Zap Cannon. Zap Cannon and Focus Blast both do the same damage to Venusaur, but the Zap Cannon obviously comes with a chance of a debuff. And let's see what the opponent is going to do. They're going to throw the Frenzy Plant. I'm going to come in Mandibuzz. I'm going to immediately swap, and the opponent actually decides to top left. But when you top left and you're friends, you actually don't get any friendship, I'm pretty sure. So if you are friends with somebody and you're battling them GBL and they want to increase friendship, then it's best to stay in till the very end of the match. I realized that later when I was like sending gifts, and I was like, oh, I thought I battled this trainer already. Anyways, we're gonna have Mandibuzz into Venusaur, absolutely gorgeous lead. I have 2 decent answers to it, and they come into Pelipper. They will be able to reach 2 Weather Balls before me. It's a little bit slow on the switch, but it's quite all right. Gonna throw the Zap Cannon. Unfortunately, I don't get a debuff. This is kind of an awkward matchup now that they got 2 non-debuffed Weather Balls. As you can see, I'm getting quite low. I let this go. And then I throw the Zap Cannon. I would be able to make it to another one, but I would have to double shield, so I can win this 2 shield, even without the debuff. And I shield. I shield again, because I really want to make this Zap Cannon. And I tried, I don't understand why they didn't register there. I tried clicking the the switch there, but it didn't register. I'm not sure why. Someone is also trying to call me right now during this match. So that might be the reason why. Anyways, they land the sludge bomb, totally fine. And then they land at the frenzy plant, which is also totally fine for me. And I am going to take this thing out, and then I'm going to switch. Do I switch right away here? I switch out right away, and they come into Dunsparce. So this is actually pretty decent for me, especially since the Pelipper is dry right now. Diggersby has a pretty strong matchup against Dunsparce, so I am going to farm to 100 before throwing, and they're waiting for me to throw so they can come in with Pelipper. But I'm going to go all the way to 100 before throwing. No debuff. They throw right away. And they throw the drill run. And again, I'm going to farm up to quite a bit before throwing because I need to take out this Pelipper. They throw the drill run again, and they try to catch. Unfortunately for them, like I saw the catch, so I do throw the hyper beam. Could have farmed a little bit more. And I throw the scorching sand. And then I just wait here. I wait for the rollout, and they actually decide to throw the rock slide, hoping to catch. But it doesn't KO, and I'm gonna be able to land the dark balls. It's definitely the correct play there. But I was in a little bit too commanding position there. We almost timeout, and you're gonna see that theme happen a decent amount. So we're gonna go ahead into the next match. We're gonna have Amanda Buzz into Charjabug, which is absolutely Charjabug. That's it. Unfortunate matchup for me because it does very well versus Amanda Buzz, and it does decent versus Registeel. I throw the Zap Cannon, no debuff, but the next discharge also doesn't KO. And I attempt to debuff them again, trying to optimize my energy. My count is a little bit weird, so I had to go over before throwing, and no debuff again, and that actually prevents me from getting the Focus Blaster, which is so brutal. And I come into Diggersby. The Mudshots are neutral because the electric typing is the ground super against electric, and then bug resists. Bug resists ground, and this Charjabug, these X's are really adding up, so I really can't farm up too much more here. So I am gonna do one end throw, and we'll see what we can do. But this Charjabug is absolutely eating my team alive. And they come into Superior, and they come into Steelix. This is a very complicated matchup for me. They actually decide to shield. And I'm going to let this go. We get to the moves at the same pacing, but I have a slight energy advantage because I switched in. But unfortunately, they're going to keep debuffing my attacks, so these Dark Pulses are going to do less and less to this Steelix. And I shield one, though I'd be able to survive. Unfortunately, I don't have the move banked. And I'm going to switch. They also switch, realizing I'm quite debuffed here. So I actually decide to shield this. Questionable play by me. But I would need, like, I don't know. It's questionable play by me. Maybe preserving the shield a little bit better, but then I would need 2 moves. So I guess I have 2 moves already. So I could have let it go. And then potentially overfarm. Unfortunately, it doesn't KO, and then the Frenzy Plant takes me out. Yeah, unfortunate there. The Steelix, I don't know. It probably would feign to a Dark Pulse. I did have some energy too, so maybe it was better for me to no shield, do 1 Snarl, throw the Aerial Ace, and then look to double. and then hope to take it out with the Mandibuzz. So that probably would have been the smarter play on my side, but Airlace let me down. Okay, neutral matchup here. I do bait because the Dark Pulse would basically allow me to snarl down the Dragonite. But I had someone call the bait, and it's so disastrous for me. So you'll see I change this up a decent amount. Anyways, they actually decided to throw the superpower at me, which I was very not much expecting. And I'm gonna double up here and then switch. Though I probably should throw an aerial ace and then switch. Anyways, they decide to go for the power whip. I will have to zap cannon. So if I dark pulse, then I can go to 100, then throw the focus blast. So I get the attack fall, which is good because then that prevents that. Basically makes the licks do half the damage. They body slam. They reach another body slam. Totally fine for me. I go to 100 here. And then I'm going to look to take them out. I had a treasure, but it really doesn't matter. And we will see how the opponent decides to play this. The Dragon Claw would KO. Good timing by the opponent. And then I do throw the Dark Pulse. They end up catching onto the Lantern. That's totally fine for me. I'm going to bank the Dark Pulse and look to switch. Because I do need the Dark Pulse for the Dragonite later. I let this go. I do survive 2 surfs. Diggerby is very tanky. I do have Mudshot, which is super effective. The Scorching Sand is also super effective. And with a 30% chance of an attack drop, which I don't get. And they're basically about in Scorching Sand range anyways. I'm going to let this go. Not a big deal. And I already have the move banked on Mandibuzz, so I don't need any energy on this Diggerby. I just need to take out this Lantern, which I do. And I'm going to try to get to the Scorching Sand. I'm not able to, but I have the Dark Pulse already. And the opponent realizes I have a shield, so they're going to try to double on the Dragon Claw. But unfortunate for them, the Dark Pulse is enough to take out the Dragonite. We're going to go ahead and skip to the second set. Do I air out here? I can't remember. Yes, I restart here. All right. We're going to have Mandibuzz into Dragonair. It's an okay matchup. I'm going to farm up. I do not throw right away, hoping to sneak, and they come into a zoom roll there. I think they're hoping to catch there. But they get to the Body Slam / Aqua Tail at the same time as I get to the Dark Pulse. So I don't throw there in case they try to throw right away. Then I would be able to sneak. No debuff. This Azu's going to like 100 energy here. And so I presume that they have Hydro Pump, which they do. And I'm going to go to 100 energy and then throw the Zap Cannon. And the opponent decides to shield. I do get the attack drop. Honestly, this bait is pretty obvious here, but not really too much I can do here because I want to control switch. And I throw the Focus Blast before they reach another play rough here, but I probably should have farmed up a little. I'm almost at 100 energy anyway, so it's not too big a deal. And the opponent doesn't throw here, so I actually get the Focus Blast onto the Dragonair. I get denied here, which is so annoying, super annoying. The one Dark Pulse doesn't KO anyways, but I would have got free Snarl there. And they come into Toxapex, and Diggersby has a very good matchup versus Toxapex, despite them getting super effective Brine. Just doesn't do that much, and I resist the Poison Jab, so it was a good situation for me. All right, we're gonna have Mandibuzz, and this is one of the core breakers here. I was hoping it was going to be Shadow Claw because that's actually a pretty close matchup between these two. And unfortunate for me, they have Powder Snow, and they come into Metacham, hoping for the debuff, and then hoping to make it to the Focus Blast at least so I can snarl down. I cannot. Just barely not. And I let this go. They are debuffed, but I will be able to get to quite a few. I will to build up some energy, but they have quite a bit of energy since they countered me down. And I'm going to let this go. And then I'm going to do one in throw. And then I'm going to look to switch. Thunder Charge doesn't really matter here. And they come into Sand Slash. I'm going to shield. I'm going to double shield here. And actually, I don't know why I didn't throw sooner. Oh, I guess I was anticipating that they're going to try to catch. So I went over. Though I should throw sooner to get the chance for the debuff. No debuff there. Going to shield. And they come into Sableye. I am going to throw this Scorching Sand right away at this Sableye. No debuff again. Oof. And they throw it again. And then I'm going to look to catch. And then my only win con here, full farm down. Full farm down. And yeah, that's basically it. That's basically my only play here. They throw the foul play. And then I should have thrown this sooner because I need the chance for the debuff. But unfortunately, 0 for 4 on the debuffs there, which is brutal there. If I would have got one of those debuffs, then I would have won because I would have had enough health on any of the Sand Slashes. Well, maybe not the last one, but actually even the last one, because I think I got they did 1 Power Snow anyway. So almost had it. I had the right idea at the end, but the team comp was very tricky here. They come into Charizard. Not a great switch in for me. I really don't have a good answer to Charizard. So I throw the Dark Pulse. And I shield. And I do 1 Snarl and throw the Aerial Ace. And then I'll just double shield and farm down. In theory, they could bait me and make it to another move. But they decided to go straight Blast Burn. So they should not be able to make it to the move. And this should be just a Claw. It's just a Claw. Farm it down. And then I'm going to switch right away to Reggie. They come to Carbink, and they switch immediately into Metacham. But this is a pretty decent situation for me. Since Diggersby has a very strong matchup versus Carbink. And I get the attack fall. I guess if they had Pup. I think they have... Do they have Dynamic Punch here? Can't remember. Oh, they have Psychic. So... actually prefer no debuff here would be slightly better for me, but it doesn't really matter because the debuff does stall the clock more. And you can see at the end right here, the opponent waits because they really want the clock to come up. Unfortunately, I come in right away and I get the CMP tie. If they would have made a catch there, it definitely would be possible for them to win. But unfortunately, they cannot. And that debuff actually, well, maybe I would survive still anyways. And I switch out to Diggersby, and they decide to leave the match. Diggersby has a very strong matchup versus Carbink. Maybe if Carbink has 2 shields and no debuff there. No, I think they need 3 Moonblasts. Then I would need to land 4 Scorching Sands. All right, we're facing the former world champion, Mandibuzz into Umbreon. I do have to eventually switch out in case they have a Metacham in the back or Swampert or something. So I built up quite a bit of energy. I overfarm. I actually was hoping to catch the last story. And they actually come in with Superior, which is a very interesting switch in. I go for the Focus Blast. I need 2 Focus Blasts to KO. They actually end up shielding the Focus Blast. And they throw the Frenzy Plant. And they throw a Frenzy Plant again. But I don't throw it right away because I don't want them to sneak. And I'm going to do 1 lock on and then throw the Focus Blast. I should be able to survive a 3rd Frenzy Plan and make it to the Focus Blast. Let this go, though it does quite a bit. and they come into Umbreon. They're loaded here, and I'm so close to this Focus Blast. Actually, I just said shield, and I know they're going to throw right away, so I switch, and I catch the foul play. And we're definitely heading towards timeout territory. As you can see here, we're just going to throw these not very strong normal moves at each other, though like Last Resort's not terrible. But Aerial Ace is pretty weak, and against two of the bulkiest Pokemon in Great Lake, I do over farm. I throw the Aerial Ace. And I throw another Aerial Ace. I don't even know if the next one would KO. The next one definitely would not KO. So they throw another Last Resort here. I double up. And then I make a slightly risky play. I switch out into Diggersby and look to farm down. They try to make it to a move. And they come into Cresselia. This Superior, I've completely forgot how much health the Superior had. So I'm like, oh man, I gotta make sure I have energy for the Superior, but I also gotta make sure I debuff. And I get the huge debuff. So I think the Scorching Sand does 21%. And the Superior was dry, so I definitely could have threw a move at it. I decided to let this go because I have so much energy on my other Pokemon here. And I throw the Scorching Sand, and we end up getting a CMP tie. And the Claw, I know, I see the Claw coming up anyway, so. And I get the attack fall. I could just easily survive that, but I'm not going to risk it. Well, there's not really any risk here, right? I'll be able to survive with any of my Pokemon in the back. I'd win. And we get some friendship here. So that's the reason why you don't top left. Get some friendship. All right, I believe this is the last matchup I show here. This game I should not have won. They come in Defense Deoxys into Mandibuzz. This is a positive matchup for Mandibuzz. The Dark Pulse does quite a bit of damage. Snarl is also super effective. They are throwing neutral counters. They do have access to Thunderbolt. All three of my Pokemon are kind of okay against Defense Deoxys depending on the shielding scenario. I throw the Dark Pulse. They let it go. So I'm going to switch out right away into, and they come into Scrafty, which is absolutely terrible for me. This is pretty similar to the, I've seen like Defense Deoxys, Obstagoon, and like Lickitung or Sableye or something like that. So they have Greedent. I do get the debuff, which is really huge for me. Gonna let this go. Still in a lot of trouble though. I throw another Zap Cannon. Would do quite a bit of damage. So they shield. Probably do more than the Aerial Ace. I let this go because I would survive. And then I throw the Aerial Ace, and then I'm gonna look to switch right away into Diggersby, and this Aerial Ace does a pathetic amount. I let this go. I think this does less than the Body Slam. Probably. It's really the counters that are doing a ton of damage. So this is a very tricky situation for me. I do have a catch opportunity. We are both 2-turn moves, so it's very like the catch is definitely very possible. If I had a 3-turn move, then this would be way tougher for me. Or if they had a 1-turn move, then it would also be tougher for me. So I'm really hoping for the debuff. I need a Scorching Sand and a Hyper Beam to win this game. I shield again. And I need to go for this Hyper Beam. I think actually, okay. Well, they end up throwing. And I actually thought I lost this game because I think I'm 4 away from a move. And I actually get denied there. But they actually went for the crunch here. I'm not quite sure why. Because I end up getting the move. Well, Yeah, no, if okay, so here's the thing. If I don't get denied there, I guaranteed win the game. If they don't go for the crunch and I get denied for whatever reason, they actually can double body slam there because it's one extra mud shot to make it to the crunch there because of the energy difference. But ended up winning the game, though I should have won, and then I shouldn't have won, but I ended up did winning. I don't know. It's a complicated thing to say. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. If you tried this team, let me know. Again, shout out to Caleb for posting this team and sharing it. If you like, sort of like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video.